Same time the brother say, how can the nation be living this way? And the next thing him say, how can the government play so many games? Same time my heart fall to the ground, cause there's much more where that comes from. Certain place they are worse than some.
No, here's where it gets tricky. A significant investor came to Anguilla in the name of the Salamander Group, waiting in the wings, ready, willing, and able to take over this project and move forward. We are in full support of that, but the government of Anguilla again made a critical mistake and is on the verge of losing that opportunity. The government knows from experience that they cannot ask the Salamander Group to talk to the Flag Luxury Group when there is so much liability. They know that these talks don't work. They have the experience of Dion Freeland when the government of Anguilla asked them to speak to this investor and speak to that investor, and he refused to do so, and all talks broke down. The government of Anguilla was right when they said compulsory acquisition is the way to go. But what happened to it now? Compulsory acquisition is the only way, and they have allowed this to slip through their fingers. Anguilla stood on the ground. This new investor was ready to pay every person in Anguilla who is owed. Every person who is owed money, up to $3 million that is owed to the people of this country, US dollars, by Cinnamon, and we allow that to slip through our fingers. They are ready to pay the government all outstanding taxes and dues. They are ready to get this project going so that they could employ, at the very minimum, 800 people. Cinnamon had until the 1st of September 2009 to prove he could restart the project, and he hasn't. He hasn't. The Salamander Group is ready and able and promised to ensure that there's no liability on the government's behalf when it comes to compulsory acquisition. No liability for us. We don't have to pay for it. This is a fact. No liability for us. What is the problem? What is the problem here, my people? What is it about Mr. Cinnamon and the government of Anguilla where good judgment can be so clouded and this project sits idle? What is the love of fear? Is it because the hierarchy of the front is part of Cinnamon's consultancy team? It hurts me to say who they are, but for clarity I must. The consultant team for Mr. Cinnamon includes Cora Richardson Hodge, who happens to be the candidate in District 2 for the United Front. It includes Mr. Smith, the party chairman. It includes Mr. FM5, who's negotiating on the government's behalf, along with Mr. Carty when this project hatched. Anguilla, it is time you pull the wool from over your eyes and recognize what is happening to our country. Let me tell you this. This information is out there for you to have. It is not lies. We will not risk the chance of being sued for defamation. Can you imagine we are losing that opportunity because of the lackluster effort by the government of Anguilla? Yet all the effort was put into a political meeting last night that said nothing but to pull us out of the mud. Anguilla, they are on this platform spewing hate. The last time Sutcliffe Hodge was here, even though there are some people in the audience who might not support him, they were respectful. Last night the United Front had a meeting here, and tonight Sutcliffe Hodge is here, and there are people in the audience who are disrespectful tonight. They are spewing hate, and at the end of the day, we need to ensure that after the political season is over, we can shake hands and continue to be friends. We can continue to be family members. We cannot allow politics of the United Front to divide the people of this country. These guys have lost their way. We are fighting, and these guys are playing around. While 400 people in Anguilla have lost electricity because they do not have the money to pay their bill, these guys are playing around. While the people, and I know this for a fact, are eating nothing but bread in this country and cannot afford variety in their diets, these guys are playing around. While over 200 homes are on the open market in Anguilla, these guys are playing around. While unemployment has reached 10% in Anguilla, these guys are playing around. While that project down at Cove Bay lies idle and people's lives can crumble because there is no opportunity, these guys play around. This is no time to play around. This is the lives and livelihoods we are speaking of in Anguilla. So I'm saying that we have been irresponsible. We have been irresponsible. I have in my hand the MOU, the Memorandum of Agreement by the Salamander Group, but I will not discuss this in details because it says confidential, and the government of Anguilla want an excuse to say that we have sabotaged the project. But here is it in my hands, because they say that you're lying, so I walk with a bag of papers tonight. I just want the government of Anguilla to know that when I talk about facts, not rumors and innuendo. These are the facts. These are all the facts. They are running over to St. Martin, flying down to St. Thomas to register people to vote. And I know there are people in St. Martin and people in St. Thomas listening tonight. They are registering them by the hundreds because the people of Anguilla are suffering and rejecting them. People in Anguilla are suffering. Empty cupboards, out lights. We are suffering. And we are hoping that the overseas boat, and they are hoping that the overseas boat bail them out so that we can ensure more hardships the day after. Enough is enough. Enough with this kind of politics. It was stated that Evan McNeil Rogers gave over 100 scholarships and financial assistance to students. I would like to stand here and commend Evan McNeil Rogers for this. And it is to be commended and complimented. By the same tune, why don't you compliment Edison Beard, who gave out over 150 scholarships and financial assistance in the period 1994 to 1999. When he did that, he was criticized. But he should be credited for that. Just like Evan McNeil Rogers should be credited for that. Out of our money, out of our taxpayers' dollars, this must not be forgotten in the scope of things. The level of personal attacks last night might win elections. I'm not saying it won't win elections, but will it rescue Anguilla from falling over the brink? Will it rescue this country from falling over the brink? I know Neil Rogers stated that Sutcliffe was responsible for pausing that cable and wireless being given only 2 weeks salary every year to work at cable and wireless up to 20 years. I saw Mr. Neil Rogers across the street, and I want you to ask him how much salary was given by the bank when they terminated all those young people. Ask him how much a week's salary was given to those young civil servants who were let go by the government of Anguilla just recently. Ask him how much week's salary was given to those who were terminated by Sonesta, Cocoloba, Cinnamon Reef, Flag, Dolphin Fantasies, and now Anguillian Rums, all closed during this time. All closed. How much salary, week's salary was given to them? Ask him, what did the Minister of Labor do for those workers who were terminated? We need to know. And while I will not knock on Mr. Reed last night, what he said last night, I want them to know. I know a lot more. I know a lot more than they think that I know. And I come with facts and figures and paper to prove it. Nobody will sue me without I having paper to prove it. I know a lot more, and the harder they come at me, the harder I will come back. I'm not running for any political office. The harder I will come back. And I want him to also let the chief minister know I know enough to speak about a particular banking institution, and I will not do so. But if he continues to make allegations about me, I will go back and make promise to the chief minister and reveal what I promised to him I won't.